Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is July the 5th, 2025. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing okay. Overall good. It's been a solid Saturday. I think I'm just in my bag. I think I'm just a bit still, technically sick by the number. I've been feeling like actually pretty good. I think all the sleep and, water, fluids at least, I'm drinking all right. And, I'm feeling okay. You get like a sore throat feeling, you get a little congested feeling here and there, but for my usual colds, this is pretty good. Not too bad. I don't know. I'm just in a mood. I think it's because I just been a little bit isolated, and not too much to do. And like I said, I've just been sleeping. I think it's the add-on thing. I mean, y'all, longtime listeners, they know. Like June was rough. It was not good, and then it just feels like June has bled into July, and that we're already 5 days in. I just want to call it quits. I just want to be like, all right, I guess I'll see you guys in August. Like whatever. No, I know that it's gonna be okay. I know it's fine. I also know that like today like has been good. We got up, we got our laundry in, and we did get a little held up. We had to like wait a little bit because I got in a little too late, and everyone was already washing their stuff. So I had to wait for like the next cycle to kind of jump in. But we got everything done. It wasn't too much hassle. After laundry, we went like straight to the gym. I was kind of worried because my hand has just been, it's still bothering me. And like, it just has days where it feels worse than it did like the day before, which is like very annoying and counterintuitive. But I mean, hey, that's the nature of a sprain, and especially a sprain that you're still working heavily. So, that's on me. That's on my dumb ass. But overall, my hand did not quit on me today, like I kind of expected it to. So I'm very happy about that. Overall, it was a pretty good workout session. I'm happy about that. I don't know that even that though, there was a little bit of like side vibes too that I don't really want to get onto on the pod, but it was fine. I don't know. I find myself in a mood where I just like I want to be out, but I don't want to be out, and I can't be out. So there's that. I don't know. Everything kind of just sucks today, y'all. Let's see what else was there that I really wanted to talk about. Oh, we could talk a little food corner. There you go, a little light in a dark place. Last night I got to experiment with bone broth for the first time. I got some chicken bone broth, and I will say I have some thoughts about bone broth. That's for sure. Why so goddamn expensive, right? Like, I was initially eyeing this shit, and it's like $7-8 for a jar of fucking liquid. Because what? It was just marinating in some fucking bones. Like, I mean, look, it's tasty. Let me fast forward there. Like, overall, it's good. I got a cheaper version of it, like a store brand. I think it was like a Kroger brand or something like that. I was initially gonna opt in for like the full thing, and I was just like, look, I can't, not in good conscience, buy $7 of liquid that's not gonna get me drunk. Like, that's crazy. No, thank you. So I was like, let's try this cheap shit. Let's see if we like it. And I decided to bump it up a notch. I was like, let me cook my rice in this. Let me cook my rice in this bone broth. See how I like that. And then we also had a little small side of it as well. And this also, mind you, is chicken bone broth, which I really do think I like beef bone broth a lot. But overall, we try it in the rice. We get a little side of it, and we have our little chicken and rice bowl, and it's awesome. It was great. It was a nice little elevation, a nice little treat. Having some hot broth on the side when you're sick, it's just a generally good vibe. I enjoy that. It was yummy. I definitely would do it again in terms of the broth. I think I would cook it again. I will say I had this annoying thing. I cooked it in the rice cooker, and it got so stuck to the bottom. Like, the rice had gotten so burnt onto the bottom of the cooker, and that was really annoying to me. But overall, we salvaged plenty of rice. We were good to go. But I was just like, whenever like stuff like that happens, it's kind of an ick for me. And I mean, I'm sure there's ways I could fix that as a cook, but I don't really want to. I just want this to come out nice and easy, like it's supposed to. But no, overall, it was very yummy. It did hit the spot. I think I plan on eating some more bone broth tonight. Maybe just try to finish it off. But yeah, like definitely I would do it again. I definitely cannot justify spending $8 on some damn, beef juice. Like, it's just a bit much. Or chicken beef. I know, I'm good. Bone juice, really. Yeah, it's bone juice. But yeah, no, it was tasty. It was fine. Let's see here. So, I mean, there's the food corner. There's a bit of the status report on my hand, on my ailments, but overall, like, we're fine. Let me tell you another good thing that happened yesterday, I guess you could say. It was nice. I went for a walk yesterday. The gym was closed, and I kind of wanted to double down. I was really feeling it, but we couldn't. And I was like, well, you know what? It's a little bit later in the day. Hopefully, it's not as hot out. Let's just go ahead and go for a walk. It was a bit hot still, but hey, that's the summer heat for you. But it was nice to kind of just walk around, get outside, walk around the community a little bit. Really, that was such a big catalyst for me last year. And I don't think I wind up at the gym doing the kind of numbers that I'm doing now without, first starting off working out at home, then working out at home, adding the walks. Like, it all kind of adds up to where we are now. So it was a nice little nostalgia piece to be like, hey, well, we have the time today. Might as well go for a walk, hit your paces. So that was cool. That was good. Enjoyed that. I might do that again. But, there's that. So yeah, that's where we are. You're all caught up on my Joneses at this point. I really hope that I get out of this funk. I know, I'm sure you can kind of tell how I'm kind of talking and yapping right now. It's a little bit different tenor. But I do want to highlight that we're good. We're okay. I'm happy that my hand isn't broken. I'm happy that in terms of colds, we're going to be fine. Like, I should be able to not miss any more days of work over some stupid hot chew, bless you shit, so that's good. I don't know, man. I feel cooped up. I feel bummed. I'm just a little depressing spaghetti. I don't know. It just is what it is. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's get into some news. This is not going to be a heavy-duty episode. I couldn't really find much, to be honest, and maybe I'm just not in the mood to really get extensive today. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of column A, column B. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup. Let's get into it. Ooh, at least you can enjoy the simple things in life. Cheers. I'll drink to that, brother. All right. The first story is an update from the Associated Press. At least 32 people are dead in Texas floods as search continues for people still missing. Rescuers scoured flooded riverbanks littered with mangled trees Saturday and turned over rocks in search of more than 24 children from a girls' camp, and many others missing after a wall of water blasted down a river in the Texas Hill Country. The storm killed at least 32 people, including 14 children. Some 36 hours after the floods, authorities still have not given a number of how many people in total are still missing beyond the 27 children from Camp Mystic, a Christian summer camp along the river. The destructive, fast-moving waters rose 26 feet, or 8 meters, in just 45 minutes before daybreak Friday, washing away homes and vehicles. The danger was not over as torrential rains continued pounding communities outside San Antonio on Saturday, and flash flood warnings and watches remained in effect. Now, I think things are dying down as of Sunday morning. At least that's the projection. But I'm not entirely sure what's the status of the rains or the flooding conditions and stuff like that. I just know that they're still scrambling to try to find people and come up with full numbers of who's missing and the amount of dead. But I know that number has just risen a lot over time. Like at one point it was in the teens, and then next thing I know, it shot up in the 20s. Now it's in the 30s. So I felt like, okay, it's definitely a very relevant jump, and I wanted to at least highlight that, talk about that a little bit. Obviously, a shame that a whole girls' camp was flooded through. But yeah, once again, condolences, and If I get any more updates, we'll be back to this story. Now, there was another shooting in Indianapolis over the weekend. ABC News. 2 teens killed, 5 others wounded in Indianapolis mass shooting. 2 teenage boys were killed in a mass shooting incident that took place early Saturday morning in Indianapolis, according to police. Officers responded to calls of a disturbance around 1:27 a.m. near Washington and Meridian Street, where they heard shots fired, according to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department. An unidentified 16-year-old boy was pronounced dead at the scene, and 5 of the victims were transported to the hospital, police said. Of those victims, a 15-year-old boy was pronounced dead at the hospital, according to investigators. Another victim transported themselves to the hospital, police said. Investigators would only describe the surviving victims as a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, 2 19-year-olds, and 1 21-year-old. No suspect has been identified, and police have no information on a motive as of Saturday afternoon. The investigation is still ongoing. Indianapolis Police Chief Chris Bailey expressed fury over the violence. Too many lives are being lost, he said during a news conference. So yeah, we don't have many details outside of that. If I do hear any more, we will definitely be back with more updates. But yeah, we're actually, just kind of crashing, careening to the end of our episode. We're going to go to Florida, hot, sticky, wet Florida, where we got to cover a thing that in my head before this year, I would have thought was like a riffraff fucking line. No, but it's going to be a real place. It is a real place now. Alligator Alcatraz. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break and we'll go ahead and close it out. Okay. Now this story comes from the Telegraph. I'm not going to shade them for low-key kind of paywalling me because technically I could have got it for free. I just had to sign up again for everything, but I was able to get this through Yahoo News. But, I always got to talk shit when I get at least even half paywalled. That's just my vibe. Anyway, keep doing your thing, Telegraph. I still fuck with y'all. The first group of migrants has arrived at Alligator Alcatraz, Donald Trump's new immigration detention center deep in the Florida Everglades. Aerial footage filmed by NBC showed officials walking people who appeared to have their hands restrained in front of them into the sprawling detention center. The first group has arrived at Alligator Alcatraz, Florida Division of Emergency Management wrote on X on Thursday. Excuse me. Posting a picture of a white van pulled up to a metal fence, it added, Florida is proud to help facilitate real Donald Trump's mission to enforce immigration law. Built in just 8 days, the site located 50 miles west of Miami is designed to house up to 5,000 migrants and will cost an estimated $450 million a year to run when it is fully operational. The site's name references the reptile-infested swamp that surrounds the prison. The site is the latest controversial move by the Trump administration to ramp up its deportation program. Following Mr. Trump's visit earlier this week, signs for Alligator Alcatraz were also put up near the facility. Workers put up signs along the sole highway leading to the site outside the entrance to the airfield that has been known as the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. State officials seized the country-owned land where the facility is located, using emergency powers authorized by an executive order issued by the governor. Now, this is, kind of getting to this point. It makes me wonder. I'm like, whose political stunt was this first, or was this like a tip-to-tip joint operation between Meatball Ron and Donald Trump? Did Ron DeSantis come up with this first, or was this a Donald Trump thing? Did he do this, did DeSantis do this to appease Trump? Is he doing this because he knows that this is the vibe? So he's like, hey, I'm going to show off how Florida's really going to get it done here, how our detention centers are going to be, and we're going to make up a whole new brand new one, and it's going to have pythons, and it's going to have alligators and everything spooky and nasty. It's going to get all this kind of attention. And then Donald Trump comes and kind of bogarts that. I wonder what the what the modus operandi was there. What was what came first? Let's see. What else do we want to really pull from here? I know I have more to say. It's also curious to be like, who is funding this? Is this all the state? And then once again, is Donald Trump just kind of bumper stickering, saying, "I love this idea. It's great. This is what America needs." Blah 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 blah. Or is this like the state's idea and they pressed, or is this like the government's idea, the Trump administration's idea? Do they push the state to do this, and it's like, hey, but we also don't want to pay for it, because it doesn't seem like they're really that attached to it. They're attached to it in vibe, but maybe not so much in terms of actual fiscal support. I don't know. The details are still coming out on that shit. This seems very like a very much a slapdash situation. It also seems like not something that you should be putting any human being into. It's worth noting. And so many of these situations, I've heard the comparison that like these detention centers are pretty much just concentration camps that we have. And like some people might say that's fucking extreme. Why would you say that? But it's like, look at them. Like, and then also look at the situations and how you are here, why you are here, how can you get out? Like, you are in an essential purgatory. You are being detained. So, I can understand why people are coming to these conclusions. As opposed to the whole thing, because this is actually something my coworker has come up and talked to me about. The one from maintenance always likes to like get a little political, get a little ornery. Actually, there's a couple, but one that actually likes talking to me, and I don't mind talking to. I feel like this is all flash. This is more or less what I told them. I think this is something that is being done for attention. Because what is 5,000 people? Like, obviously that matters to an actual, person like you or I. Like that could be one of your family members, one of your friends, one of your coworkers, whatever. That's any one of these people individually matters. But in terms of like Trump's great goal of like securing the border and getting rid of all the illegal migrants and people who just shouldn't be here, that number is nothing. It's grains of sand. So you're doing this all for spectacle. You're doing this all for fucking attention. That's why it has the name that it has. That's why it is Alligator Alcatraz. You're invoking another failed fucking prison, but for just shock and awe, just because it sounds scary and spooky. But obviously it's fucked up. This is some fucked up shit to put another human being through, especially a person who's as an American as you or I, and they essentially are just getting scooped up and then forced into this fucking, box of a fucking situation, and threatening, hey, if you get out of here, you're gonna get eaten by a crocodile or some shit. So yeah, it's wild fucking shit. And, I didn't talk about it when I initially heard it. It was just, getting put up. I guess I just kind of wanted to wait until I heard, okay, it's officially up and running and people are being sent here, which happened very quickly. So, I guess that's an attestament to it too, how fast this can happen. Because obviously, like these detention centers are put out throughout all of the United States. There's already, a good chunk of them, but just the fact that they can get put up so fucking fast. The money can just get put up and injected into these projects so quickly, either by the state or the government, or the federal government. And then, boop, we have this little thing so we can fucking, house people, detain people. So easy to do that. But we can't make, like, housing for people who don't have it, We can't provide for people who need, like... But we can do this, though. We can do this so fucking easy, though. Anyway, I know, it's a sad note to end on, but hey, it is what it is. That's all I have for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube at Isaiah News. I think you can find it that way. Or you can just Google, the podcast, YouTube. Insert platform here, actually. You can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on Spotify. You can follow me on Apple Podcasts. Any platform. I'm there. But yeah, hit the like button. Hit a cool comment. Say something nice. Say something cool. We enjoy that. It is always well appreciated. Asking questions is great. You know what I mean? Feedback is always good. I'll take a cool criticism. That's fine. Just don't be a little butt licker. You know what I mean? You know the type. But yeah, that's always helpful. But I do just appreciate people who listen. I can never say that enough. just the people who tune in and just want to hang out and for some crazy reason don't mind having my voice in their ear. That's crazy. I'm in your ear like a yerk right now. That's wild. I'm on some Animorph shit on a daily basis. Do you think about that? I think about that sometimes. And I appreciate it. I'm a happy yerk in your ear. I would never steer you wrong, okay? I would never take full control of your body and do weird shit. I promise. I'm not that type of yerk, okay? It's 2025. No, that's I'm done. I'm so stupid. All right, I needed that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend, and hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye bye. Mwah.